Do we just go live? Because that would be perfect.
Yeah, we did actually. That was
Yes!
perfect. Hey! Hi everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Burning Crowns. And by first, I mean technically first of actual play, not just character burning. So, hey, hello, hi. I'm the Gamemaster today. I'm Eric, as well as the host for the show. If you're just tuning in, we're playing Burning Wheel today. We're going to be taking stuff from the Paizo's Pathfinder adventure path called Kingmaker, and I'm kind of like condensing a lot of what that entire campaign is about and taking the central themes and conflicts and stuff like that and setting, and I kind of just transport it into Burning Wheel because I thought Burning Wheel would probably do a better job handling sort of like the king making political intrigue, Game of Thrones kind of stuff that we really want to do. So that's what we're doing. That's what hopefully we're going to do. We're going to kind of start doing a little bit of like the book one of this adventure path. I don't know how anything is going to keep to anything, you know. I'm not worried. I'm not concerning myself with anything like that because it's going to be more about the players and what we do rather than what the adventure path would ever tell us. So, and speaking about determining what we're going to do, I should probably take some time to introduce our players. I feel like it's probably a good idea. So let's go around the horn here. Let's start with the top left. So let's start with Arthur, AP. What's up, man? How are you doing? How can people find you? And tell us a little bit of who you're playing. And if you could, remind us about your beliefs for your character as well. And maybe instincts as well. Just so we are all get on a good start here.
We should start with a good start, Eric. And that's why, rather than tell people who I am and where they can find me, which I'll do during outros, I'll do what the audience has been asking for all week. And that's the following. Da, 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 da,
It's copyright. Sorry, Eric.
Perfect. I am, of course, Count Ronald of House Swan. I have some exceedingly populist beliefs about how amazing I am. My time is now. The political philosophies and economic theories I propose will be put into action, turning bandits into men of use. I suspect Lauren to be an agent of my enemies. Turn her to my service for twice the price. Rule is my birthright, heritage, and duty.
That's awesome. Yes. So can you describe it real quick for the audience, your influences for your character again? Just so we all know.
My influences are the governor from the Pocahontas Disney movie, and Breeze, Ladrian, and Shalon Devar from the Sanderson novels. Basically, I am amazing.
Yeah. I believe there was also... So, did you drop Scar?
I mean, I feel like Scar will be seen insofar as many of my beliefs and instincts in the future will be named after Disney songs. But you should be prepared. It's the chance of a lifetime.
That's perfect.
It's so good.
Actually.
It's so good. Awesome. All right. So carrying on around the horn, let's go to the top right with Michael. How are you doing? What's up? What kind of character you're playing, and your beliefs and stuff.
I'm good. I've been enjoying having internet, so I'm actually broadcasting not from my church, but from my kitchen, which is weird for me. But I'm playing a character. Her name is Lauren Tall. She is a Numerian noble-born turned slave spy master. Say that 6 times fast. And let me see. I gotta pull up her bits.
Whoa.
That's what they're called.
Team terms of service.
She's sort of meant to be inspired by the lack thereof of like strong Islamic characters in modern media, but that's besides the point. Belief number 1, information, not steel, will rule this world. I must find a reliable runner who knows the territory in order to establish safe lines of communication with my queen and my agents. My time as a poisoner has taught me that no matter who you are or what you do, someone wants you dead. I shall build a robust spy network to keep this fledgling nation from falling to blades in the dark, starting by securing a hideout for my operatives. Swan is an insufferable ass, but I need him on my side. Him and I will work to pacify these bandits so that we can move on and start the real job. Instincts, I'll drop everything to read the correspondence from my lover or my queen. Never let your spies sit idle. I stay in constant communication with them, and I'm always aware of their movements and actions. I write correspondence with my queen, my love, my agents, late into the night, and often at the cost of sleep. And for traits, I have off-kilter, worldly, brutal, strange, matriarchal, mark of privilege, charismatic, rapier wit, and numb.
Jeez. Oh, that's... I know. That's gonna be awesome.
Quite a thread, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have charismatic and weird at the same time. It's great.
Yeah. No, I'm really gonna dig your character.
I hope so. I hope she's just not like an idiot.
No, I don't know. I get like you're sort of like the hybrid between if we're doing Game of Thrones characters, you're like a hybrid of Varys and the diplomat for Daenerys. What's her name?
Yeah, that's probably the direction I'm leaning most towards.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely like. She's like foreign-born, serving a queen that's not her ethnicity and not of her people, and kind of weird, but awesome.
Yeah.
So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, love it. Cool.
Thanks.
Wreckage, what's up, man?
Hi. You all might remember from character burning that I'm the least aware of the nuances of Burning Wheel, and therefore spent an inordinate amount of time on doing my things. So I am playing Onan Solstend. He is a knight of the militant order of enlightened Goramism, which Eric so kindly allowed me to generate because he's always willing to let his players have a hand in world building. The beliefs and instincts that we agreed on were the tenets of enlightened Goramism are perfect for this land. The mistakes of unearned title, station, and power in society should be left behind, starting with this party. His second belief is the people of this land surely worship Gorum, but likely incorrectly. I will teach them the truth of it by iron and build a temple of enlightened Goramism in this land. The third belief is Lauren is, apart from me, the strongest member of the party. It is disgraceful and blasphemous that she holds herself below the others. This should be changed. The instincts are never judge a book by its cover, always take time to meditate on the word of Gorum, and when others hesitate, take charge. We never got to say what my traits were, because we were far too busy burning up those beliefs. So my traits are mark of privilege, because I was born noble, disciplined, sworn to the order, your grace, and thick skin.
Oh.
So technically, and Swan might care about this, but Onan doesn't. He has to be addressed as your grace or your eminence. So that is technically a trait he has, but from his beliefs, you may infer that he doesn't care about that himself.
You have to earn it. Pick yourself up by your own bootstraps, right?
Yeah. So the other thing that's worth mentioning is that we sort of left my final bonus belief hanging because I have sworn to the order, which gives me an additional belief, but one that is more based in the religious practices of enlightened Goramism.
Yes.
And we haven't had a chance to talk in the last week about it, but my draft of that is, long story short, like, as a tenet of your religion, always improve yourself. Like, always strive to be stronger in all aspects. not just like I'm a good swordsman, but also be better at lying and cheating and money if you can learn something from Swan.
So here's I have a question for you about Goramism. So for those who may or may not know, Gorham's sort of like, God, he's Crom, he's the god of battle and the god of strength and competition. How does enlightened Goramism view poison and stuff like that? Is winning all that matters, or is there sort of like...
Strength is all that matters. So yes, he is totally cool with poisoning. And the reason is, we've sort of been talking about inspirations for characters, right? Yeah. I don't have a example in the media, but I was so sick of I'm the barbarian guy and also I'm the knight guy, right? Knight guy is all about honor and he lives by a code and he follows certain rules and he's very honorable and self-sacrificial. And barbarian guy is very ruthless and is do anything to kill people, blah, 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 blah. But also maybe he only respects your martial prowess. And so I'm trying to do something different than both of those things, in between both of those things, which is like, I have a religious belief in strength that isn't withheld by a code of honor and doesn't have any sort of baggage on it. So I'm just going to do and respect whatever shows results. And there's a little bit more to it than that, right? Like he believes that if it's not, for example, with Swan, like Swan is rich, but if you took away his money, could he earn his money back? Like, that's the question with Swan. Like, if Swan is competent and strong, the answer is yes, he could earn his money back. But if he's actually weak, maybe he only makes money because he has money, right? Like,
that's interesting. It reminds me a little bit of what is the French Calvinists, Huguenots, and Calvinism in general, where you would believe that your fate was predetermined. So everyone pretended to act good because if they knew that they were bad or something, they didn't want anyone to realize that they were bad. So sort of like, oh, well, you get what you deserve. So everything's kind of like, yeah, if I'm not good enough to keep my money, then I deserve to get it stolen.
Well, it's not even a question of that. It's like it's a recognition that if he inherited his money and his money lets him continue to make money, that's not a strength. But if he had all of his money taken from him and was able to earn money again, that proves that he is strong. He is actually a strong businessman.
Oh yeah,
he's not a weak businessman who just has money and continues to have money because he lucked into it.
Got it.
Through forces other than his own. Like, if someone takes my sword away, I am still strong, even though my sword is my tool. But if someone took his titles away, his money away,
got it.
Then what?
Yeah, they can get it back. Yeah, sort of like you're like the libertarian dream.
Hold on a second, I'm drafting a new belief. Okay.
Sure. While you're doing that, let's go pan the camera over to Sam, our last but also awesome character. So hey Sam, what's up, man? Who are you playing today?
Hello. So I am playing Demetrius Antonin Lucian Arsini Sertova, who is a third son of a minor branch of the Sertova house, which is the stewards who are making a strong bid for kingship when we sort of start the story. He, like many third sons, ended up in the church, and so he is a faithful member of the Church of Abadar, who is the god of civilization and of commerce, and trade. He's sort of inspired by kind of a lot of different things all rolled into one. There's definitely a lot of inspiration from podcast Hardcore History in the stuff that he did about Martin Luther and sort of the fallout after the beginning of Lutheranism rather. And then there's a little bit of this character called Father Yarvi from Joe Abercrombie's novels, the Shattered Sea trilogy, and then a little bit of Tyrion Lannister dashed in with sort of the political talker. His beliefs are only the strong wall shelters humanity from the storm, which is, in this game, faithful characters. You can be faithful, and then you can be faithful with capital F, which means that you have a trait called faith. Or faithful, and you have an ability called faith to call on miracles. And you need a belief that reflects that. So that's that belief, sort of that humanity needs civilization to survive this upcoming apocalyptic disaster that's in our future. Second belief is the first step to bringing civilization to this land is learning about it. I will gather actionable intel for us to use. And belief 3 is Count Swan understands the lessons of Abadar, even if he refuses to see it. I will get him to admit that Abadar is the source from which all commercial success springs. Instincts. Always have my doctoring supplies on me. Always quote relevant religious parables. Always assume signs of the apocalypse. And I have a ton of traits, but some important ones. I'm a lord, so I have your lordship. I have the mark of privilege. I am tonsured, which is the mark of my church. I have to shave my head bald. I'm vested, which is just, vested priest. And then I have Sertova house traits, which are predatory, bearded, and ambitious, which is interesting because some of those I have and some of those I don't, because actually Father Demetrius can't grow a beard, so he's clean shaven.
Okay, that's awesome. I think we're about ready to begin. Did you, Michael? Did you want to change a belief before we jump in?
I was going to do something that would really troll AP's character, but I decided not to because...
Oh, come on.
It's the first day.
Come on.
I don't know you all that well, and I don't want to be that guy.
Okay.
Sure.
Love you, AP. You're my bestie.
Okay, then. So, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and read the charter that we all got, and then we'll start from there. So, this is the charter that all of our player characters have received. Be it so known that the bearer of this charter has been charged by the Sword Lords of Restov, acting upon the greater good and authority vested within them by the office of the Regent of the Dragonscale Throne, has granted the right of exploration and travel within the wilderness region known as the Greenbelt. Exploration should be limited to an area no further than 36 miles east and west and 60 miles south of Oleg's trading post. The carrier of this charter should also strive against banditry and other unlawful behavior to be encountered. The punishment for unrepentant banditry remains, as always, execution by sword or rope. So witnessed on this, I think I said April 12th, the 12th day of April, under a watchful eye of the Lordship of Restov and the authority granted by Lord Noleski Sertova, current regent of the Dragonscale Throne. So that is the charter that we have. Just a quick reminder, so House Sertova is currently regent, but within a year, the King's Moot will be called in order to solidify their claim from regency to king, as no heir of House Rogarvia has been found after their disappearance. So that is where we're at.
Good riddance.
And so today is the 12th of April. I don't feel like dealing with the Pathfinder calendar. I'm just not going to do it. Sorry.
That is fine.
Yeah.
We're dealing with...
I haven't asked this before. Sorry. Are the dragons, did they disappear with House Rogarvia,
Yes.
or have they been gone for a while?
No, they disappeared with the house. Yes.
So unlike Game of Thrones, where the dragons became irrelevant early in the timeline, it's like right recently there were dragons and now they're just gone.
Yes. Well, I mean, dragons were always rare, and that's kind of why why Brevoy ended up becoming a country, because this guy had trained dragons.
And no one else did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just rolled up and wrecked shop.
He rolled up, and most of Isia sided with him, being like, fucking dragons, man. Okay, you win. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna even, and just let me just brown nose you a little bit. Maybe I get some sweet land, and that's kind of what happened. But Rosslyn was like, "Rawr, we're gonna fight," and Rosslyn did, and got their asses whooped in a disastrous battle called the Valley of Fire, which many people of Roslyn remember. So, anyways.
So, could you say Roslyn remembers?
Yeah, you could. You totally could.
Is that like... Okay, yeah.
But once again, like, this was 200 years ago.
Hey, the North remembers, excuse me.
It sounds like they Roslined some jimmies.
Oh, all right, well. Bye. I guess we're playing with 3 characters. I'm just kidding.
All right.
I love puns. No, I love that. Okay.
All right, here, let me get my dog. She can play. That character.
So here's a question I want to ask you guys. So we're all traveling to this place, Oleg's trading post, which is sort of on the frontier. It is the last stop of civilization before the Stolen Lands, before the part of the Stolen Lands that you guys are exploring is called the Green Belt. There have been several groups chartered in addition to your own. And they're all exploring in the basically quarters of this place called the Stolen Lands. You sort of have this middle area called the Green Belt. Going into it that the Green Belt has a little bit of like swamp, foresty marshes, and some hills in it. That's about it. It's home for a lot of farming and things, and it has a lot of bandits in it. That's, as far as I know, everything that you guys would have been probably told or what you have gathered from it. Going into it. And I want to know if you guys are all traveling together, or do you guys all meet up at this trading post on separate times?
I don't know. What does everyone else think? I think it would be more interesting if we were all traveling together from the very onset.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think I kind of just want to bypass the initial introductions of everybody, and can we just say that I want to know if we can just move on and just you guys all show up together.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I like that better. I find that initial stuff a bit tiresome anyway.
Me too.
It sounds like based on our beliefs, we've already been introduced to each other.
Yeah, that too.
Perhaps had far too much of each other's company.
And maybe we can have that those flashback scenes at some point in the future when we have nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Burning Wheel mechanics in terms of skills and things happening in the past and time being important, but I'm always a big fan of flashbacks and stories, so if we can make it work, we'll make it work, right? So anyways, cool. So once again, who's everyone else bringing with? So this group that's going to the Greenbelt is not just us. We're bringing a couple other people, right? Who else are we all bringing? Who's bringing people with them? Whose entourages are coming with them? Just so we remember.
Well, so I am the head of a company of my militant order.
What's it called? What's your company called?
We never named them. We also never defined how many they're in that company. So those are things that I am not aware of, but I can easily name them. We'll call them the 478th Expedition, because we mark all of these that have gone out in the entire history of the Church of Gorham.
Okay, so the 478th.
Yeah, the 478th, and it's got to be less than a dozen men. I don't know how many it is, but the point is that there is one of each type of martial skill among our number. So a bowmaster and a mace guy and axis man and maybe a dude who, I don't know, trains animals or something.
It's Magnificent Seven style.
Yeah.
Everyone has a specialty.
Your unit really feels like the Inglorious Bastards, just a little bit.
It's pretty much exactly like that. So
it's a similar premise.
Bring me 100 bandit scalps.
Yeah.
We're gonna go in. We're gonna go into the Green Belt, and we're gonna kill bandits. If you want to kill bandits, you're coming with us.
Can that be your voice, please?
I am not gonna try. I am not gonna try and do George Clooney and Inglorious Bastards.
No, but this is important because I believe you said your sister's part of this group, right? And she's important to you.
My sister is my second in command in the group, and as is perhaps a storied and scandalous tradition in House Solston, we are incestuously involved with one another.
Does she have a name?
Thalia.
That's right.
Magic the Gathering reference.
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
Cool.
My name's a reference too. It's okay.
What are the other? I mean, you don't have to name the characters if you want to right now. But like, what were the other like weapons people? So we know.
Well, as everyone knows, Thalia, she focuses on bows and crossbows. She's ranged. There's an axe guy. There's got to be an axe guy. There's got to be a maces and hammers guy. There's got to be a spear guy. And I think there's probably a.
I think that's about it.
Axe dude, right? You gotta have an axe dude.
Yeah, we have axe dude. We have bows and crossbows, axe dude, mace dude, spear dude. Probably a knife guy. Knife.
I don't feel like Gorham would be down with the knife guy. I feel like that's a little too.
Not what?
Every type of
No,
strength.
I think you would totally be down for knife dude.
Yeah, what matters is it a significantly diverse martial skill, right? Like, is it sufficiently diverse? Is it something that you would actually be like, I am really good with knives as opposed to swords? Like, I'm not very good with swords, but with knives, I can throw them and kill dudes and, like, stabby stab.
So you have, like, you...
Okay, cool. That's
like,
all. All right.
And I would say there's, among their other smattering of skills, I don't know about if Burning Wheel has, like... Because I know Pathfinder does. But does Burning Wheel have the actual capacity for animal companion type stuff? Like, I have a wolf that I have trained to sick people.
It costs 3 resource points.
Well, I don't know. Then maybe there's a guy in the company who does that, but isn't good at it yet.
Okay, that's fine. All right, cool. So there's about 10 of you all traveling now? Almost a dozen?
I have a guy too.
Oh, that's right. Who's your guy?
I have a bodyguard
Yeah.
who, as opposed to being like these sort of religious knights, he's a more traditional, straight, portly type knight. He is a bannerman of House Sertova. He is, strictly speaking, my cousin Natalia's man, who is sort of she's the queen of, or calls herself the queen before this King's Moot happens. And he is huge and dumb. He has an axe and a horse. He's got a trait called blank stare, which basically just means that, like, no matter what happens, he's just sort of like, it's not really clear whether he gets it or like he just doesn't have a reaction or like what's going on in there. And yeah, so like I said, he uses an axe and a lance. He's also really good at hunting, which I figured might be useful, and I think that's probably part of why he got sent on this mission.
So he's a little bit like Aragorn, crossed with Bronn,
and Hodor.
Crossed with Hodor, and I said crossed with the chief from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
So, question, because it pertains to my character, because I have affiliation with the Queen too. I'm the head of her spies in this region. When you say strictly the Queen's man, do you mean like hand selected by the Queen to go with, or like loyal to the Queen, or like
I think
the Queen?
What I was kind of thinking was definitely, so I think maybe he thinks of himself as a potential suitor to the Queen, even if he's not actually. I was kind of thinking that he maybe won a tournament or something, and like thinking that this was like some great honorable expedition, sort of asked for a place and didn't really realize exactly what he was getting himself into. And also he's a little bit there to keep an eye on me and make sure that I'm acting in the interest of the family and not just in the interest of myself and the church.
Dude, an Isian tournament is fucking no joke.
It's probably super metal, right?
Yeah, you don't think of a medieval jousts and shit. You guys think of what the Iron Isles tournament would look like. You know what I mean?
There's probably a lot of
that's what these guys do.
It's probably not go until you knock the person down. It's probably go until they either black out or you draw blood or something like that.
This guy's definitely got the axe skill to back it up. So, he's maybe not quite as good as our holy knight over there, but he's he could definitely at the very least give him a decent match. So.
And what's his name again? One more time.
His name is Sir Zitomir of House Magnar.
Yes.
Big and dumb and incredibly strong.
I love it.
Yes. I think he's a sir, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Sir
Okay, cool.
Zitomir.
I don't know if I'm more
Excellent.
excited to have my character screw with the PCs or screw with the PCs' friends.
It will all happen. Don't worry.
It'll all happen, but I don't know who I'm more excited about.
Cool. All right. So I think we're ready to begin. So our envoy is coming. It's approaching a little bit south, a little bit west from the free city of Rostov. Kind of running parallel to the stolen lands. You guys are going over this like really rundown road. You can barely even call it a road, but it would be the South Rosslyn Road. And it leads essentially to one spot before turning back up into House Garrus lands. Or Lebeda lands, sorry. And
Okay.
This is Oleg's trading post. So you guys kind of like crest the sort of hill, right? Like the group of you guys, and this is where the scene opens up. You guys crest the sort of hill, and you see in the distance, well within about a couple hours ride or walk, you see a small rundown fort. This fort has it looks like the palisade walls of it have seen better days. Some of them are missing or like fallen over. However, you do see like a smokestack billowing out smoke. It looks like there's active, and I think you can kind of hear the sounds from where you're at. It's a relatively quiet day, clear. It's just a beautiful spring day, and you can kind of hear the sounds of like hammering away in the distance. It's sort of like industries going on at the fort.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, let's say you guys are showing up to the gates. The gates are closed. How do you guys announce yourselves?
Well, I think from like film wise, we're like have the camera looking at the gate, and then it slowly pans around so we see us coming over the hill, and sort of like on the side of the road, like not really on it, you see Laurenthal, and she's like pulling a rickshaw. It's like got all of her traveling gear and like the like most of the stuff that everybody else didn't want to carry.
Okay.
And I think she just like sets it down and like looks around and spits like off on the side of the road and just looks at Lord Swan. Okay, your turn now. I'm really over this shit. Please, swap.
What exactly is it that you are over? The hill? Yes, I believe we have.
I'm over the hill. Now carry the shit. I proceed to pick a fight with him in the best way I can.
My good lady, Lauren, you have to understand. I have no idea why you're carrying this gear. Have the peasant folk of the militia carry it.
Most of the militia is noble born, no?
You are also noble born.
Yeah, but I'm not fluffy noble born like you. I'm Numerian. I'm strong. I'm beautiful. I'm mean. I'm weird. It's different.
So
If other people are hearing you guys, they like scoff at this.
Yeah,
To think that a
I'm just
Numerian
kind of-
is noble-born.
I think just like
I recognize your nobility, and I believe that you are a strong person. However, it might be wise for you to hand over the pack to one of these fine young men who have been sent for exactly this purpose.
So during this conversation, Onan has trotted up to the gate and pounds on it.
Yes.
Excellent. Our herald has gone to announce us.
Okay.
I stride off, leaving the pack with Lauren.
Yes. So a few minutes go by, or excuse me, a few moments go by, as you hear a lady, an older lady, mention like just a minute, and she starts to hear like the sounds of like a crank as the gates whine and wince slowly open, and inside you see a relatively well kept trading post. You see that there is a burly man on the roof of a barn, kind of like repairing the roofs. He's like wiping sweat from his brow as he's going back to like fixing the thatch and that kind of stuff. But in front of you, standing, is a very like humbly dressed lady. She's approximate. I mean, like think like looking kind of like Catelyn Stark, I guess. Probably a good way of looking at it in terms of age and stuff. Does she look like a capital L lady or just like a lady? No, a lady.
Okay.
Hey, lady.
No, she sees your guys' status, right, and immediately graces you guys. And he's like, "Oh, my lords, it's welcome to Oleg's. My name is Svetlana. I'm wife to Oleg. Please let us come in. We've been expecting you."
Thank you. Are you the leader here?
She laughs and is like, "Yes, Oleg and I are the leaders."
Really?
Is this? And she like looks you all and she's like, "Is this it?"
This
Yeah.
will suffice.
Oh, of course. I meant nothing. I don't know. When we requested word, or we sent word north to Restov. I don't know. We just. Oh,
It's okay. I was not what I was
be...
expecting on this mission either.
Yeah.
No, Lauren Tall kind of laughs a little bit.
This whole time, the gentleman on the roof has not bid you guys any mind. He's just been working along. And Svetlana is kind of like ushering you guys. She's like, "Well, I've prepared quite a meal for several hundred people. I hope you guys were hungry. Or excuse me, several dozen people. I hope you guys are hungry."
Good lady Svetlana, please, before we accept your hospitality, our herald, Sir Orin, will announce us.
Swan, you ignorant ass. We do not need a herald. We can just go eat. Honestly, I've seen Sir Orin polish off a whole cow. It'll be fine.
Oh, I assume that as the lowest ranked nobility in our party, he would be doing heraldic duties. Is there someone else who will be taking up that charge, Sir Orin?
Why not you?
Perhaps.
Announce myself? How gauche.
Perhaps you have misunderstood rank.
I've seen several documentations of your bloodline. I'm quite aware of what your rank is.
While this whole argument is happening, I think Father Shatova just like as everyone's gone into the walls, he's like let everyone pass, and he's just standing like next to the wall with his hand on it, just with his head bowed, just like saying a small prayer, and then like sort of walks up as they're like having this argument.
As he walks up, Laurenthal just looks at him for a second and just walks off somewhere into the trading post towards whatever building looks most like a bar.
My lady Svetlana,
there's
I
no
apologize for the appalling behavior of my comrades. I am Count Ronald of House Swan, and I would graciously accept any hospitality you offer on behalf of our company.
Your Eminence. She bows again. Yes, please. Our house is yours. Yeah. You guys smell like a really good stew. You know, I'm not gonna get George R. R. Martin here for you guys, but like, you know, it's a good stew, right?
You can hear the fat popping on the fire.
You're not gonna get Brian Jacques on us.
Yeah, like no, like it's a good stew, freshly baked bread, like you see, like, this place is relatively humble, and they went out of their way, going kind of deep in their pockets here, digging up some stuff, to prepare this for you guys. This is, you know, like, it's obvious that effort was made for this. Right?
What's the woman's name again?
Svetlana?
Svetlana. Okay.
Yeah, this is Oleg and Svetlana. It's their trading post.
Are there any other people that live here all the time that I can see?
No, it's just them. You hear the whinnying of horses, though, in the stables. You know, above where Oleg is fashioning up the roof.
What
you notice though, once you probably, I don't, if you're close to Svetlana, you actually kind of notice she's hiding injury. Is the easiest way of putting it? Like she seems like she her you know, like she's like favoring one side is probably the easiest way.
What before we do anything else, since I have spies in the region, what have they been able to tell me of this? I don't know what role would be relevant for that. I guess it would be my affiliation plus my organization, maybe. Or does my instinct just trigger and I just know?
What would your bandit or what would your spies told you of what specifically?
I want to know like the comings and goings of this place. Has it recently had an influx of visitors? Have a bunch of people recently left? How many people are supposed to live here? That sort of thing.
Yeah, no, you don't have to roll for this. I can just give you this information. This has been kind of like in your primer of your dossier for your mission, right? You know that hardly anyone goes here. This is basically like an outfitter's place for trappers and hunters. And obviously, the big problem would be banditry in the region. But no, like you don't have your spies and scouts don't really go this far, right? Like this. The problem is, yeah, they're like, would the U.S. have spies in Antarctica? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. This isn't a high priority, you know, information gathering area. There's not a lot of human asset, you know, things to gain here. Other than, you know, this is the middle of nowhere. This is, you know, this actually a more accurate or apt description would be like the middle of Uzbekistan. Like how do you know the rummagings and what's going on in like a small little local shop in rural Uzbekistan? Like this is very remote.
I'm trying to gauge. I'm trying to gauge if there's anybody I can leverage in this area. Mostly.
Yeah. No. Unfortunately, not right now. Unless you want to like try to like turn Svetlana and Oleg or something like that, and try to get them to work for you. Like there's nobody really frequents here a lot. However, if you want to like ask them about what they know about the area. We can totally we can do some of that stuff over dinner.
I'd like to as soon as I notice that she's injured, I think that she's trying to hide it. I think what I do is I like step forward.
You see her, yeah. It's probably she's like bringing food out to you guys, right? And like you can see that she's kind of like straining.
Right. So I stand up, and as like she like puts something down, like puts down a plate, I like grasp her hand in both of mine, like as though I'm like going to say something very earnest to her.
Lauren tenses up when you grab her hand.
And I say, praised is the last house on the edge of the wilderness, my lady. And then basically I like sort of use that as like an excuse to like notice that she's injured. And so like I go like, oh, is something wrong, good lady?
Oh, she thanks you for your words, but she politely declines. Like it's nothing. You know. No, it's fine.
Please, my good lady, allow our father here to examine you. It is of utmost importance that any that we have accepted hospitality from receive our gifts in turn.
No, she definitely declines. She's like, you honor me so much, but no, please, it's fine, please.
Svetlana, please. We are all friends here. We are allies. We are here trying to help you and your people. Please, let us do that. And I maybe give her like a bit of a wink. Hey, ladies know, right? And I'm attempting to persuade her to let us like look at the injuries.
Yeah, you want to persuade her to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's do our first roll of a game.
I'd like to help.
Sure.
I mean,
So this is going to be a versus one. So I'm just going to quickly roll up her will for her obstacle, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Do I get helping dice from the party?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think-
I already helped as part of that.
Yeah, and like it makes
That's
sense because like she's trying to politely decline, but she's also being insisted by a count. So there's a lot of like, I guess I have to oblige here. Once again,
Yeah, and-
Oleg is not present. He's still working on that roof. He's ignoring you guys essentially.
We're gonna go deal with that in a minute.
So let me just roll her her will to give you her difficulty.
Okay.
Okay, it's just be an odd 2.
Okay, so I'm forking etiquette. I'm forking etiquette, persuasion. I don't think seduction is
You're not
appropriate.
forking persuasion. You're using persuasion, right?
I'm using persuasion, forking etiquette. I don't think seduction is appropriate here. Observation, maybe, and then 2 helping dice.
I wouldn't allow observation, but I think helping dice would work.
I actually realized I'm not sure I'm allowed to help because I think I have to have the same skill, and I don't use persuasion. I use suasion, which is like the priest's version of the skill.
Well, that works.
So I don't think I'm actually allowed to help. I'm gonna look that up though while we.
Etiquette.
Okay.
Etiquette and 2 helping dice, I think.
And I believe the count's obviously helping, right? Okay.
And my base obstacle is.
Is Sir 2? Sir Onan, what are you doing while this is going on? And like your group?
We have probably been stabling our horses and sitting down to eat. And there is an amount of the 478 being their own clique, sort of.
Yeah.
So this sort of rambling and namby-pantsying that they're doing over this is not interested. He's not saying anything, but in his mind, if the lady wants to hide, her injury, she's allowed.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're very much like their prerogative, right?
Yeah.
Hands off. Okay.
I just barely made that roll.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So she's like, well, if you insist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you must insist, we can, but like she's gonna leave the conditions in terms of how you want to do this to you guys. Like if you want to do it after dinner or like right now at dinner, like whatever you guys win. Right.
I think.
I am no medical doctor, but it seems clear to me that it should not be left untreated, whatever the injury. If you were to be further injured or perished while we were to sit here and eat your food, that would be ridiculous. I'm sure there is some place you can find where the good doctor and yourself can afford yourself some privacy.
I would agree.
Your Eminence, we would not. My husband and I would not get far if we were not tough individuals here.
I do not
trust me when I say it's nothing.
You are not tough. I only say that disease can strike even the strongest man down from the inside.
I like hold up a hand and I go, please, Count Ronald, allow me. And I will say, milady, I simply wish to do my duty as a priest of Abadar. It would be remiss for me to allow you to be in pain when you uphold civilization so nobly in this outpost. Civilization in a wild land must be cultivated. Will you allow me to help you, lady?
Yes, and I mean, you already persuaded her. Like, she would do it. But once again, like, she's doing it, but like, she obviously has reservations about it, right?
I think when he asks, he just sort of like leads her away, and I mean,
Okay.
I can make an anatomy check, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Get out, Ricky.
If
Well,
you know what I mean. You want to make an anime? No.
Hey, I'm a doctor.
No,
okay?
you don't have to make an anatomy check unless
Trust
you
me.
really. You can make an anatomy check after I tell you this. Okay. You see like the side of her, like you lift her shirt like a little bit to see her like why she was favoring one side. You see like around her hip and like upper or lower abdomen area is like really bruised. And it's a very like thin line, like you got completely decked by a club.
Am I in this? Am I in the room by any chance when this is happening? Or is this happening
They took. No, it was. Yeah, exactly. I
I'm gonna
believe
go
he
see.
took her.
I'm
He
gonna
took
go see
Svetlana
Oleg.
off to the side.
Okay, so I'm going to say, it seems that this may be beyond the realm of the medical, but will you allow me to beseech the Lord to take away your pain?
She definitely declines.
Okay.
She's like, please, I call on the God's favor for someone like me now. Save your miracles, is what she says. I said, this is fine.
Yeah, no, he nods and he says, your modesty is becoming.
I must. Yeah, if you would let me, Your Grace, I would like to return to dinner.
Yeah, he's gonna let her. I mean,
Cool.
he can tell that it's not something she's into.
Cool.
Bruises can't be treated, really.
No, I mean, I have surgery, so I'm not gonna like cut her open. with the bruise.
She wasn't stabbed or anything. She just was
Right.
beaten. So, is anyone else want to do anything real quick at dinner before
I would
something
love
happens?
to sit down and talk to Lauren when I have a chance.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. She's probably like about to leave, and you stop her.
My lady Lauren, if I might have a few minutes of your time.
Did we not have a whole 2 weeks traveling on the road together? Please.
I feel as if it passed in but a moment.
Oh, you flatter me, Lord Swan, but no thank you. Unless it is truly urgent, I do really need to be going.
I guess this is the manners they teach you in Numeria. Very well.
No, no, my friend.
Truly urgent, then leave the table by all means.
Are you trying to are you trying to like goad her into staying?
Of course.
Are we all at the table, or is this after everyone's left?
No, you're not at the table.
Right,
this is while
Onan's still
you were
there,
examining.
maybe Onan's boys, whatever we're calling them.
Yeah.
Onan's voice.
The 478.
boys,
The
yeah.
478. Yeah. The
478.
war boys. The orc war boys. Yeah.
So I think she actually turns to the rest of them and says, "Civilized men in their high towers can criticize people like me, no? Seems a little strange, does it not? What is it that you want to talk about, Solon?"
You shouldn't let him pressure you.
Please, sit and let us talk like civilized folk from those high towers you
I
disparage.
do not seem to be seen as civilized by most people here.
And yet, at every opportunity, I have afforded you courtesy, because I, for one, believe in your noble birth. However, you do me a great disservice.
Passive
So
aggression
you
is
hear
control of the
like
power.
this is how much actually I think Braun, yeah, I think not I want to say Braun, but Zytomir, right? Zytomir is not liking the things that the Count is saying, but knows better than to say anything, but it's clear he's like, eye daggering. Right, like when he's saying, "Let's treat a Numerian as someone like," you know what I mean?
Has this probably treatment I've received before?
Yeah, right. Like
From Zytomir?
yeah. Think of it. I think this is treatment you've gotten pretty much your whole life since you've been in Brevoy, right?
And I've
You're
definitely-
treated
and
as
I've
a
definitely
second
gone
class
from, like-
person, right?
I've
Like,
definitely gone from like trying to be,
Don't mind-
I'm
yeah.
Revit, I'm just gonna own this shit
Yeah.
and make
No.
everybody feel uncomfortable.
No,
That's
exactly.
what I'm really for.
No, exactly. Like you are given a position of extreme like status as being like spy master of sort of like the servants kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like it's explicitly clear that you are a servant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Zidomir, as a member of like the house, like one of the bannermen, he probably knows that you like thinks of you as being like that up-jumped Numerian that like
who thinks they're brevish.
He doesn't really know like what exactly you do. He just knows that you're like always around.
You know that like she's like a handmaiden of the queen, basically.
Right, exactly.
Like you know.
I think I look at him for a second and I'm like, Zitomir, eyes like daggers are not kind. Surely the queen would like to hear you respecting her chosen champions, no? And I kind of smile.
He literally doesn't say anything, but he's thinking that you belong in the stables.
Lord, I think I turned to Lord Swan and was like, Lord Swan, I'm sorry to disrespect you, but I do believe for the benefit of more civilized company, and I look at...
Lady Lauren, if you need to excuse yourself now, I believe you have ample opportunity. It seems that our good Sir Zitomir requires a lesson in etiquette and manners.
Can this be when...
He hasn't done any... He's like... I beg your pardon? Like, I haven't done anything. I've literally sat here and ate my meal.
Oh, Lord Swan, you offend the poor man. Please, why do not we have a conversation? Walk and talk, no?
Yeah. If you, it's like, if your eminence would allow, I would very much like to continue eating this meal.
Is he addressing me or Swan?
No,
Please
Swan.
excuse me, Sir Onan, Sir Zitomir, 487th. I will return in a few moments after a constitutional.
Sure. So
we will
Sir
continue
Zitomir.
this talk later, Sir Zitomir.
So just so it's clear, Zitomir is not part of the 487. Zitomir is okay.
I specifically named him out.
Okay. Got it. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm going to come back later and do a fucking bombing run on his etiquette.
I think as we
doesn't have that skill.
Yeah.
I think as we leave, I totally like as the door is shutting. It's just like
no. This is the perfect moment. For us to go to break actually, and we'll come back and something will happen. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to break for our first hour. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
I say an ass.